Well, hello there. It's John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and this is Saturday, January the 8th, 2022. Well, after last week's video, I heard from a whole bunch of people um, wanting me to stay, so here I am. Sometimes you just need a little love. That's just how it goes. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. Fixing my hat. I don't know why. Because I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here talking to you. So, so let's talk about the week. I want to take a moment here and talk about a friend of mine who I've talked about before. My good pal Rob Gennarini, who I heard from several times this week. Got a few very nice emails from him, for which I thank you, Rob. Rob's been a good friend, and I don't know if Rob recalls this, but I think if we're going to look at official anniversaries, this fall we'll have known each other 30 years. Now, let me preface that with occasionally we'd run into each other, we'd see each other and be aware that we were at shows. I didn't know him, he didn't know me. Does anybody really know me? I mean, including me. Um, but then I seem to remember it being going to a bottom line show um, in New York in the fall of '92. That sounds about right. I had to put on some shades because they look cool. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, yeah, cool shades. Oh, boy. I just feel like it. It's a spontaneity thing. But so we went to a lot of the same kind of shows and stuff, and and we just found we were friends. It's been a very good, long term friendship. 30 years. Like I said, it'll be 30 years in the fall. Uh, and I can't imagine us ever not being friends. I miss him. I don't see him as much because he got married and left Connecticut. Well, he left Connecticut and got married, I think in that order. Rob can correct me. But a great guy. If you're ever somewhere and you see a guy and you go, hey, that might be Rob Gennarini, and it is, you're in for a treat. Just letting you know. So, the week. We had a lot of snow on Friday. My nephew says nearly a foot. I'm not going to argue. I think it might have been a little less, and it just like drifted up. But I could be wrong. Maybe it just was. I don't know. It was a whole bunch of snow. Let's put it that way. So some things are coming to an end. The nurse that's been visiting me this week was her last week. This coming week is the last week for my physical therapist, and I think we're nearing the end of the occupational therapist, who has been doubling very ably as a masseuse, getting the knots out of my shoulders. Oh, she's been wonderful. Her name is Melissa, and thank you, Melissa. And a big props to Jane, my physical therapist. I think we've developed a friendship as well. I've met some lovely people along the way. So that's going on. I finally got my shoes because in the care facility we found that my right leg is a little shorter than my left, and while one of the fine workers there, one of the only two people there I didn't care for, um, was one of she's the one who made me have to wait till now to get it because she never signed these papers she was supposed to sign. She just didn't sign them. But thankfully, a woman from the shoe place, from the orthopedic place, went there on other business and got it done. So I thank her. Her name is Alex. And they're what they look like. They're orthopedic shoes. They look like big weird boats on my feet. But they get that job done, and they add a little extra to and a little and a little to my right foot. So there you go. Um, nice talks this week with a bunch of people. Moving forward, getting back into life bit by bit. My strength is building in terms of endurance. I can stand up longer because what they've been doing for me has been working, which is good. Um, Beyond that, watching some movies, which I recommend to everyone. Watch some movie. Watch good things that you like. I got a Blu-ray of an old ABC TV movie with Louis Jourdan and Carol O'Connor and Linda Day George. She might have just been Linda Day at that point. I'm not sure. It was a 1969 horror movie called Fear No Evil. And you know what? It's still just great. I watched it the other day. It's really creepy. And it was a TV movie, and I would say it's creepier than anything I've seen in modern cinema in decades. I mean, there's stuff nowadays, they just have gore and scary thrill beats. But this just is genuinely, it creates this air, it builds this aura of creepiness till the conclusion. So enjoyed that. What else did I watch this week? I know I watched another film. I've just been catching up. It'll come to me later on. I'm going to watch a lot of stuff on TV too, and I have some stuff ahead, as well as I have lots of music I need to sit and listen to, and got a few great books in, one of which was from my childhood. As a kid, I loved to read the nonsense verse of Edward Lear, who wrote, most of you might associate the name with The Owl and the Pussycat. And I loved his nonsense. It'd be like, there once was a man from, whatever. I'm sure that's where they got there once was a man from Nantucket who's blah, 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 blah. You know, he did a lot of those kind of things. And I was reading some of those with his illustrations, and they're still silly, and they still make me laugh and make me smile. So I got that. I got a wonderful book called Artists and Their Cats, which is, strangely enough, photos of artists and their cats. And everyone from Salvador Dali to Andy Warhol to the musician Brian Eno, the French cartoonist Enki Bilal, just lots of folks, Georgia O'Keeffe, Pablo Picasso. It's wonderful to see all these people with their cats. It really casts a different light on them. I think it humanizes everyone to an even greater degree. Fabulous book. I highly recommend it. Artists and Their Cats. And can't wait to dive into it. I got a collection of the first three Asterix the Gaul graphic novels from whenever those were from. Was it the 60s or the 70s that they started? But it's the first three. Um, Wonderful stuff, beautifully illustrated. Gonna be fun. Looking forward to that. And have some cool stuff on the way. Some saucy stuff. So, ooh, it's saucy. And I've been doing some cooking. Nothing too elaborate of late. But I'm getting ready to try a variation on a Haitian recipe that my friend Benita gave me using sour orange juice in a marinade. And she said you cook it in the their marinade too. I don't know why I conjugated it to marinated, but it's because the brain still, the brain still, the brain still, the brain still is working out some bugs. So what have I left out? I don't know. I love you all. Thanks for getting in touch. Some of you a little wise ass, Susan, but that's fine because you're wonderful. And gee, let's call it a wrap for this week, and I'll see you next week. By the way, I hope that some of you have gone and looked at both my 6 fantastic Linda Ronstadt songs, because they just are. And I really didn't send it to the list, but I did a thing for those who care to look on my YouTube page. I did a thing on the passing of great coach and broadcaster John Madden, who deeply touched my life from a very young age, and I talk a little about that. So you might want to take a look, or you might not. Uh, Drink more tea. I love you. See you next week. Bye bye.